And we are live.
All right, what's going on, fellow commanders of Call? My name is Dan,
I'm Chris.
and welcome to Commanding Cause. This is the sports show where we're Ravens and Commanders fans. Well, although I'm kind of rethinking being a commander. I'm kidding.
No,
No,
that's fair. That's fair.
ride or die. But anyway, yeah, we're here to talk about NFL Week 14, and we're going to make some predictions for Week 15. And man, the playoffs are getting closer and closer. So let's see what's going on. But Chris, I believe since we're doing this live, we now are able to do this, the video, right?
Think we did it.
All right. Let me see. There we go. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Oh, hey. Yeah, there we are. I saw it. Okay. I'm looking at the video. Um, cool. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you all for your patience. This is our first week doing this. But, Chris, how was your week?
It was a pretty good week. I'm very excited to talk about football this week. We had some really good upsets and some great games last week. Talk about that Tylan Wallace kickoff punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we'll get to that definitely. I will say I've got some very good news that I'm waiting to share with our Commanders of Caw fans out there, but I'm waiting just maybe a week or two before I announce it here. But you know what's going on with that. So, and otherwise, yeah, I'm wearing a Halloween Mickey Mouse shirt, and it's almost Christmas. Have you gotten most of your Christmas shopping done?
Yeah. So, funny story about that. Me and my wife still do stockings for each other.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's fun. So like we do. So like I think we just have to finish those out, and that's it. I have to
Hmm.
wrap my presents because I'm lazy. But I got the Grinch wrapping paper because the Grinch is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies. My favorite being the Christmas Story.
You know, I never got into Christmas Story. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite. I think Christmas Vacation is my favorite, but I also like The Grinch. I like the Home Alone movies, the Santa Claus. What other ones are there? We've been watching a whole lot of Elf is a good one too.
Elf is a
But
really good one.
yeah, I don't know. But I will say too, this week I went to the dermatologist and got a mole removed, and that was fun because it was on like my stomach area right here.
Ah, that sounds painful.
I mean, you have tattoos. You don't have any on your chest, right? Or your body, like your
No,
midsection.
my hands mainly are probably my most painful ones, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, I just got a shot of lidocaine for them to remove the mole. I mean, nothing's wrong. I'm sure I'm fine. You know, I've had moles removed before. I'm very moly, but uh, man, that shot of lidocaine to numb the area just really, it was not fun. And so, don't recommend. I don't know how people can get tattoos in that area.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
some exciting
go
football
ahead.
though that we had
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
all right, let's get back
What
on
do you?
track.
One thing I want to mention. What do you think about the whole Patrick Mahomes situation? Do you think he's a crybaby?
So, okay, I gotta be honest. I've been out of the loop on that because you know what's been going on with me, and
Yeah,
I've not really been paying attention a whole lot.
I
But
got
all
you.
I know is that there was an offside Kadarius Toney penalty, and I thought I saw some quotes where Patrick Mahomes was like, "I don't want to talk about all the flags. We're just here to talk about football." And I guess he kind of sounds like a crybaby. I like, is that the general vibe? Am I getting the quote right?
So at the end of the game, I'm not going to say what he said because we're family friendly, but he like when Josh Allen and him are going to shake hands at the end, he's like F word this over this. Like he's just going over saying like it's the most stupid call I've ever seen and stuff like that. At the end of the game, when you're supposed to be like shaking the hand of the person you're going against, I respect a competitor like 100%, like that. Like I respect that aspect of it, but it's like
Hmm.
at the end of the game, you should show like Josh Allen has taken those beatings against the Chiefs and lost those close games. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
take the L, shake his hand, and like, yeah, I get it. It's a bad call, in their opinion. It needed to be called. He was offsides. Personal opinion
Yeah,
there.
I have
Um,
seen evidence for it.
yeah. So I mean, like, they're gonna call that sometimes. I agree that they should become more transparent on when they're gonna call these calls because sometimes they call them, sometimes they don't. That is an issue.
Same thing with pass interference. I know sometimes that'll get called, and there's blatant PI that does not. So
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know
seen it with the
really.
Ravens.
I don't know what to do. But I mean, there's nothing we can do. But I don't know what is to be done. You know?
in terms of like the ref ball.
Yeah, the ref
Yeah.
ball. I don't know, but let's just go ahead then and talk about last week in that respect. So, okay, Thursday Night Football. We both picked the Steelers against the Patriots, and what the heck happened?
Greatness happened. The Patriots, and it wasn't even mac and cheese. I think it was what is his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it was their backup quarterback. Is his name Skyler?
I can't remember. Oh wait, you're talking about Mitch Trubisky for the Steelers?
No, what game were we talking about?
Steelers and Patriots.
Yeah. The backup for it was battle of backups. Patriots backup quarterback was in too. I don't think it was mac and cheese.
Oh, Bailey Zappi? Yeah,
Yeah, Zappy. I remember.
gotcha. But no, yeah, that I didn't watch the game because I was doing something. But yeah, I was just kind of amazed. And I have friends that are Steelers fans, and I got to be honest. I honestly, because of other teams, my view of the Steelers has gotten better in terms of the fan
Yeah,
base. Also because I like Urinating Tree, and he's one of the Steelers fans I actually respect because he will call them out when they're being stupid. So I'll give it that. But I agree. I was expecting the Steelers. You know, they were doing better with Matt Canada being gone. Didn't they have like 400 yards of offense for the first time like in years?
yeah. And
The
then
game after he got fired.
Kenny Pickett gets injured, and they see how much of a difference it is to have Mitch back there than it is to have. Um, I completely just blanked on his name when I just said it. It's hilarious.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see the whole like people are zooming in on George Pickens giving low effort during plays. I don't know how I feel about all that. I think that's a little messed up. I think stuff's getting taken out of context. You should give 100% on every play, but at the same
Oh,
time,
absolutely. I mean, you know, those people do a lot more to their bodies than you and I will ever do.
yeah,
So, but moving right along, another upset. We had the Lions lose to the Bears, which apparently the Bears right now are like one game away from being in playoff contention.
yeah,
So, and they're going to get the overall. Excuse me, they're going to get the first overall pick because of Carolina, which is
yeah. It's
man.
hilarious.
Would that be the first time where like somebody like before the season ends has the overall first, or excuse me, the first overall pick, and they're still in the playoffs?
I kind of want to see it happen. I kind of want to
Exactly.
see
But
the Panthers go ahead and tank it so the Bears can get that pick, and then the Bears make the playoffs. That would be hilarious.
right. Well, and so my question then too is what's going on with the Lions? Is there a lack of discipline going on? Is Jared Goff just regressing, or
I think people are figuring them out.
I could see it. Now nobody thought they were going to win the Super Bowl this year because, like, you know, the first, I don't want to say the first 4 weeks, but you know, the first few weeks of the season, everyone's fresh, you know,
Yep.
and it takes, you know, the gears are turning, and now we're hitting pedal to the metal. It's week 15. Like, we're kind of seeing who's real and who's not.
Yeah, we're seeing who's the pretenders and who are the contenders. I think is what people say. I,
Sure.
There's if we get onto that subject, there's a couple teams that I think are there's a lot of teams I think are pretenders. The Jaguars are one of them.
Oh, I agree.
Now watch them beat the Ravens, but the Jaguars I think is one of them. I kind of have my doubts about the Ravens, and I think that's just because I got burned in the past.
Let's talk about that later because
Yeah,
I 100% agree with you on that. But I think the 49ers are for real.
yeah. Dallas,
I don't know if Dallas is for real, though. I mean, they're playing better, but
they look scary good right now. And the Eagles, I think they're pretenders, but I think a lot of people already knew that. There was a lot of mainstream media that wasn't like really saying much about the Eagles, but I think they're kind of pretenders though. Personally, I think Jalen Hurts is the real deal. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think um, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are amazing as well. It's just I don't think they're as good as last year. If that makes sense.
sure. Yeah, I mean, they've gotten arguably a better roster, but,
Yeah,
and Jalen Carter, for example, Nolan Smith. But moving right along to the Jags, I picked that the Browns would beat the Jags, and I was correct. Now, it was by like a field goal or something, wasn't it?
yeah. Joe Flacco was in there. I was a little sad to see that he's the best quarterback the Browns have had.
Gotta be
all
honest,
year.
though, I mean, you know, the man still wants to play. Honestly, he could have retired when he left the Ravens, but he didn't. So good on him. You know, watch him make the playoffs. I would kind of laugh, kind of cry because I know how you feel about the Browns, but I would kind of laugh if they had an insane playoff run with Joe Flacco, just like he did with the Ravens, you know, a decade ago.
Me and my buddies at work were talking about that as well. I could totally see it. If he keeps playing the way he's playing, It's a scary roster. They have a good tight end. Joe Flacco likes throwing the ball to his tight ends. It's just a known fact. Um, I'm trying to think of a couple other ones when we had Waller. For
Well, at the same time, we could definitely. It's a possibility somewhere out there that the Ravens play the Browns in like the wild card or divisional round.
I kind of want that. I think that'd be one of the harder teams they need to face right off the rip, and I think that would kind of get them ready for the rest of the playoffs.
Yep. Now, what's going on with the Jags though? Trevor Lawrence was playing, but he had a high ankle sprain. Again, to what you were saying, they might kind of be more pretenders, but considering they had the first overall pick 2 years in a row.
Yeah, they have a good team. It's built really well. I think they're probably going to be a Super Bowl kind of ready team in either next year or the year after is kind of what I'm expecting. Because I think they just need to get a little bit more built around Trevor Lawrence and that offensive line personally. Uh, they should not have played him last week at all. They should have let him rest.
Well,
Just
at
in
this
case.
at this point, it's kind of just like, well, this is the time where people are going to start making playoff pushes because the AFC is, I wouldn't say wide open, but it's very competitive. Like, still the Bills' window's open, the Jags' window's open, pretty much all of the AFC North,
Yeah,
as well as, I think the only team, I mean, the Patriots have been eliminated.
and the Cardinals. That's it.
Yeah,
One
I mean,
AFC, one NFC team,
technically the Chargers and the Raiders can still make the playoffs.
which is
But
crazy to think about.
yeah, and we'll get to that game here in a minute. But moving right along, we both predicted correctly the Saints will beat the Panthers. I'm sorry, Panthers. I know it must suck being a fan this year. I'm sorry.
I feel bad for them. They need to go to
Yeah.
that store I was talking about last stream and go pick up those
Oh, yeah.
hats that are there that are still on clearance.
Right. Then we had the Bucks beat the Falcons, which again, I don't think the Falcons are a terrible team. I just don't think they're a particularly good team.
I agree with some of the other YouTubers I've been watching. They've been blowing it. Like, they should be a game or two ahead of everyone, and they are not. It's pretty crazy to see.
Yep. So what do we have after that? I mean, I'll keep announcing the games. I don't care. I don't want to talk too much here, but at any rate, we had the Colts and the Bengals, which the Bengals, again, they're doing well. I mean, who's their backup that's playing right now?
Bengals, Browning.
Yeah.
Jake Browning.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. That was actually a pretty good game from what I've seen in the highlights, the Colts Bengals game, because the Colts actually managed to start coming back a little bit. I think after a pick six and a couple other good plays.
Also, too, I mean, in the division, technically the Bengals, they have a winning. Everyone on the team has a winning record, and the Browns are they're 8-5, and the Steelers and Bengals are 7-6. We're 10-3.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a chance that, I mean, there is a prediction. I mean, there is a possibility out there that like the whole AFC North can go to the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
It would be crazy. I always hope that 3 teams from the AFC North make the playoffs because last time that happened, the Ravens won the Super Bowl. So Bengals and Steelers need to make it in.
We'll see. All right, Texans
Speaking-
Jets. What happened there? Oh wait, sorry, no, sorry, I skipped a game. Go ahead.
Wow, you aren't going to let me have my time to shine. I see how it is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That game was good. That was a really good game.
Oh yeah, I
wanted
watched
to
that
see
game.
If the Ravens could actually put away, which I wish they put them away earlier, but to see the Ravens actually put away a team that's putting up points with them, where that's usually where they fail. If there's a team that's keeping up with them, usually they slow down. Our defense was getting diced up, which does not shock me. I kind of expected that. I think I said that last week. I was saying the Rams are going to put up points on us. I don't know.
I mean,
it's kind of
they-
scary to see.
They could have won the game in the last few minutes, but they didn't. Thank God. And then Tylan Wallace, bravo.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone either way, honestly. I mean, there was a moment where I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to turn this off because it's going to be embarrassing. But
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt at the end of that game. I was like, this just seems like a game the Ravens are going to lose. It's just one of those games. But the thing is, the Ravens play good competition. They play really well against bad competition. They play down to competition. That's what happened with the Colts. It's what happened with the Browns because they should have beat the Browns this year with the way the Browns had been playing at that point. And who was the other team that we lost? The Steelers. Yeah, and
Yeah, I for
like
some reason the Steelers always play us well, but also, yeah, I mean the Rams beat us last time, but I think that was the time they won the that was the year they won the Super Bowl.
yep,
And I can see the Jags beating us, just kind of like what you were saying about us playing down to competition. I
yeah.
don't know what it is, but
Jags also have a good offensive weapons that could make some plays. That's the one thing that's a little
so
scary. But I think our defense is better than their defense, and I think that's where the difference will be in that game. But we'll talk about that
oh
later.
yeah, yeah. Well, okay, and now we'll save this till we talk about the playoffs. But go ahead and sorry, I'm not taking your time to shine. Go ahead and talk about the next one.
Oh, the next one, the Texans Jets. We both picked the Texans, and the Jets walked them. Not really like bad, but
Any given Sunday, apparently.
yeah, Zach Wilson looked like a maniac out there.
Yeah,
That defense is playing really good. Which the Jets do have a good defense, and Zach Wilson was just making it where he wasn't. He was playing situational good football, just enough to make sure that the Jets could beat them, like that their defense is keeping up.
yeah. But then we had the 49ers Seahawks, and the Seahawks put up a fight better than I think people were thinking. But yeah, 49ers are just arguably the best team in the league right now.
Yeah,
Depending on who, like, if they make the Super Bowl, depending on who they play for, I will root for them.
yeah, that's fair. That team is stacked. I like CMC. I like Debo.
Yeah,
I like their tight end
Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
George Kittle.
yeah, George Kittle. Brock Purdy's good too. So I really hope. I hope my prediction from the beginning of the year is right. I hope it's Ravens 49ers. I think it would just be a good game.
But then who wins that game? Honestly, at this point, I think 49ers.
49ers. I think so. Our defense is better than their defense, and that might make the difference there. 49ers have a
But
good
their
defense,
offense is
though.
arguably better than ours.
Oh, absolutely. With currently where it stands, yeah, the 49ers offense is better. But I think Roquan Smith could do some damage to CMC up the middle. Whoever, it'd probably be
And
Patrick Queen that'd be covering George Kittle, so that'd be pretty interesting matchup.
gotta say too, Zay Flowers is. I'm really happy that we got him.
Oh yeah, he's him. He's
Yeah.
gonna be, if we can get a little bit more time in the pocket, which there's some pretty good examples of good time in the pocket that he had, but I think a little bit more depth for our starting lineup since our offensive line goes down a lot. I think the Ravens could do some damage next year
Okay.
also.
Sure. But then let's talk about the game where literally 3 points were scored. Like I was continually just looking like at scores, and I'm like, okay, when's someone gonna score something? And it never did. Well, somebody finally got a field goal. That was just. I'm sorry if you're a fan of either team. That must have been brutal.
Yeah, there's people in a live stream I was watching. They were like, "I was just at this game. Pray for me." And I was like, "Oh, I feel bad for you."
Right. Now the Broncos beat the Chargers, which, look, no offense, I don't think that's very much of a challenge.
Nah,
The
Broncos are a better
Broncos.
team.
So now they're only one game behind the Chiefs in the division. I will laugh my butt off if they win that division.
I hope they do. I think it'd be hilarious,
Yeah,
especially
same.
with how much,
I mean,
with all the smack I talked on the Broncos this year. I would love it if they made the playoffs. Prove me wrong.
oh yeah.
Be a
I
good team.
mean, we were kind of proven right though at the beginning of the year, but obviously I think just better coaching and just overall better. They're a more disciplined team right now.
Yeah, they're playing pretty good football. My personal opinion.
But what happened with the Bills Chiefs? Sorry.
Bills Chiefs. I mean, we kind of talked about in the beginning. Both of them are not playing to the standard that they should be playing at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It showed that game on both sides. Josh Allen had a good game. That was really the only difference.
Any given Sunday. I mean, that's pretty much the tagline for this week because I mean, we'll talk. The Cowboys beat the Eagles, which, look, this is the only time you're going to see me rooting for the Cowboys. I'm sorry to if someone's watching this that is a hardcore Eagles fan, but then so we both picked the Packers and the Dolphins, and we both lost both of those games. I don't know
I'm
what
happy.
happened.
I'm so happy we lost one of those games because the Dolphins losing makes the Ravens the number one seed in the AFC. So
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
so okay, we don't have the numbers up right now, but I know that I'm one game behind you right now that we
Yeah.
talked about earlier. I don't think we did the addition, but okay, I wanted to talk about that real quick because you brought up the Ravens being the number one pick. I kind of don't want us to be the number one pick because last time we were the number one pick, we came or the Titans came into Baltimore and whooped our butts, and I don't want that to happen again.
There's no team in the AFC this year that I fear when it comes to coming in like the Titans did. The Titans that year were a matchup nightmare, and the Titans still are a matchup nightmare for some teams this year. I mean, that's kind of what we've seen with certain games they've won. That year, I totally saw that collapse happening. This year, I think there's too many. I just want to say dogs, man. There's too many dogs on that team that are not letting that on the defense that are not going to let it get that way. I don't think our team's a lot better and a lot different from what was that 20? That was the year we won, Lamar won the
2019, yeah.
Yeah, 2019.
I just again, and then the Bills embarrassed us the next year. Then we beat the Titans the next year, and then I don't think we made the playoffs the next year after that. 21, did we? No, yeah, and then 22.
Tyler Huntley. I think Tyler.
Well, that was last year. I don't know if we made it in 21.
I can't remember off the top of my head. To be 100% honest with you.
No, it's fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about predictions for next week because we got some other stuff to talk about here too. But Chargers Raiders. I'll be okay. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but Chargers Raiders.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Chargers.
Chargers. Now, do I think that they are necessarily the better team? No, but I think they're going to play well over the Raiders because what the heck happened with the Raiders the other day? I'm sorry. And again, this is based week to week. Obviously, any given Sunday, it could be the Raiders beat the Chargers, but I mean, in terms of standings,
you just swayed me.
Well, here's the thing, though. They have the same record. It's 5-8.
I'm picking the Raiders.
You're picking the Raiders?
I'm picking the Raiders. I'll let you know why once you're done with yours.
No, go ahead.
All right. You're absolutely right. Any given Sunday. We saw them put up 0 offense against the Vikings. Chargers have a good defense. I know this. Chargers have Khalil Mack. They got Joey Bosa. They have a good defense. They have a lot more than just that. But you know those games where like a team shouldn't win, but they win just out of nowhere? That's kind of what I'm going for here. Chargers, in my opinion, are the better team. They don't have Herbert. He's out for the year now.
Oh, gee. Okay, that's definitely going to... Who's their backup?
Easton Stick. So he'll get his time to shine.
And who's playing for... Is it... What's his name? Aiden O'Connell? Is that... Because what the heck happened to Jimmy G again?
I have no clue, to be 100% honest with you. I've missed some stuff. I've been out of the loop on certain games and certain teams.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I might change my answer as well just because... Well, okay, so I'm seeing that it's in Vegas, correct?
Yeah. O'Connell's better than Easton Stick. There's actually, like...
Well, so here's the thing. The Chargers are 3-3 away, whereas the Raiders are 1-5. But at home, the Raiders are 4-3 and the Chargers are 2-5. So it might be a little more difficult, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's both change it. Let's just do it right now. Cool. Okay. Vikings Bengals. After the poor performance from the Vikings last week, I'm gonna say Bengals because Jake Browning is doing better than people expected. So
yeah, and also Nick Mullins is going to be starting quarterback for the Vikings because they're benching Dobbs. So that should be interesting to see. There's going to be a learning curve there, so I'm going with the Bengals just for that reason by itself.
Yep. Now, a couple weeks ago, I would have picked the Steelers over the Colts, but the Steelers, like we were talking about earlier, just what's going on with them.
I want to pick the Steelers for this game. I cannot trust Mitch Trubisky. That is 100% why I'm picking the Colts.
100%. I'd pick Gardner Minshew over him.
Cool. Broncos-Lions. I was excited for this matchup 2 weeks ago because I had been dogging the Broncos and saying they weren't a good team. And I was a big fan of the Lions. And it's like, here were the Lions at the beginning of the year. Here were the Broncos. It feels like there's a shift coming. They're going to go against each other in this game, and the Broncos are just going to keep rising, and the Lions are going to keep falling off. That's kind of where I'm going with the Broncos on this. I think the Broncos have showed... They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills.
I mean,
they're not playing good, but those are still good playoff teams.
It's in Detroit, so there is that. That's something to consider. The Lions lost to the Bears in Chicago, and the Lions, the Lions away are 5-2, and home they're 4-2. So I mean, on paper again, yeah. I mean, I'm picking the Broncos too. I think that just they're on the up and up, and the Lions are kind of regressing a little bit. I still think the Lions will make the playoffs, but
I don't know.
let us know in the comments. I don't know if you have commenting turned on or not, but let us know in the comments what everyone thinks.
Yeah, people can comment if they want to.
So tell us why we're picking this next one.
The Buccaneers Packers.
Yeah.
I want to pick the Buccaneers because I have a little bit more faith in Baker Mayfield. Personally, I like Baker. Jordan Love has shown that he can put on a performance, though. He didn't play well last week against the Giants. I don't know how to take that game yet because it's a young quarterback. So if that's his low, okay. But if his high is his high that he played against, I can't remember the team off the top of my head who he lit up. The
Yeah.
Chiefs. The Chiefs. He played the Chiefs really well. I think the Packers are a better team.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers, I think, just like you said, are overall the better team. So it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. But at any rate, let's talk then Chiefs Patriots. We're both picking the Chiefs, right? There's no reason to not here, right?
Correct. I forgot to scroll through really quick through the games. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are the better team on paper. The Patriots have already been eliminated from playoff contention. And actually, that's another thing, too, is apparently I saw a thing, I don't know if this is real or not, but apparently Belichick, whatever, they're going to move on from him after this season. So I don't know. I've heard rumors of him going to San Diego. The Chargers. I've heard rumors of him going to Washington because Ron Rivera's days are numbered. I don't know if Eric Bieniemy is going to be the guy, so...
How would Eric Bieniemy and Belichick get along? I wonder. That'd be an interesting dynamic, I think. Because one of them's really about defense and one of them's really about offense. That could work
Yeah,
out
I
pretty
mean,
well.
you know what? The more you say that, yeah. I don't... Yeah.
If
And between them, they got 8 rings.
If Belichick is available, I think any team should take a chance on him at least, just to try. I mean, with what he's coached in the past, especially a team, I do agree with Los Angeles. I was about to say San Diego Chargers as well, because they have such a great defensive team built together, and he's got a quarterback there that he knows could do well. But I don't know how he would do discipline wise with the Chargers compared to how he had things ran in New England before. That's kind of where it'd be a little interesting to me.
I don't know. I feel like with him being kind of like a no-nonsense coach, as far as I can tell, I think he might do well in Washington. Yeah, like, kind of like what you said. I think any team should kind of be willing to take a risk on him, but we'll see what happens. Then we got the Jets and the Dolphins, which, I mean, the Dolphins got upset, which obviously helped the Ravens out, and the Jets played really well any given Sunday, but this is in Miami. I'm going Dolphins.
Absolutely going Dolphins. Now, if the Chiefs and Dolphins manage to lose against their division rivals, no, the Chiefs are division
No, the
rivals.
Dolphins are playing. Yeah, the Dolphins are playing a divisional.
But if the Dolphins lose to their division rival, it's gonna be wild to me because it is possible. But the Jets are just
Yeah.
bad. The Dolphins are just good.
I mean, I'm not being rude here. I'm trying not to, but honestly, if there was a game where the Dolphins could score higher than what they did against the Broncos, this is the time.
I don't think any team's as bad as that Broncos team was in the
Yeah, I
beginning.
mean, hey. Yeah, but the Jets aren't. I mean, technically the Jets could make the playoffs. What are they right now? They're 5-8, but they still have a chance. I don't know.
Then we got Bears
Now,
Browns.
so this is the one game we're actually differing on so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Browns. I think they're just a better overall team right now, and that defense is bonkers.
You're
And the Bears
absolutely
just
correct.
I don't think they have enough to overcome it.
So this is my upset pick. That is 100% what I'm going with here. I think the Browns are a much better team. I think Flacco is going to do great for them. I think that's such a good pickup, and I think I I kind of root for him a little bit just because it's like, hey, Flacco, do good. Like, it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Now, get to the playoffs and then just get destroyed by the Ravens. Might like you more, Flacco. Another win for the Ravens. Um,
Exactly.
but I have the Bears pick because I just have a feeling Justin Fields is going to have a good game.
Yeah, I Justin Fields. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I know people are like writing him off, but I think just he's a product of a bad system. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it needs to change
But yeah,
scenery.
yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting if he leaves and they pick up. I forget who the people are saying going to be number one pick overall. I'm not trying to waste time on that, but
Caleb Williams.
yeah. I wonder if the Bears would do that or not because they have the first overall pick. I don't know. Then we have the Giants and the Saints, and the reason I'm picking the Giants here is because they surprised everyone by beating the Packers, but also the Saints are just. I don't. The best way I can put it is it's kind of like that guy from SpongeBob, where every morning I break my legs and every afternoon I break my arms or something.
Yeah, no, the Saints are kind of just there. They're like they're like the Wonder Bread of the NFL. They're not
You're
like
the
that.
Diet Coke of evil, just one calorie, not
Yes,
evil enough. Yeah.
exactly. It's I don't know. They're just kind of bland. They're not like really a playoff team, but they're not really a bad team at the same time. They're not even like I don't know how to describe them. Well, I do. They're like in purgatory. Is
They're
the best way to describe it.
I would say that they're just like they are winning the injury bowl this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Giants as well. Just so everybody's aware.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the Giants are really going to make the playoffs at all, but I
Still
know
possible.
that guy 5 points Vids. He's a Giants fan and he's wanting them to just tank for a better pick, but obviously a win's a win. So
They'll probably win in spite, make the playoffs, and then get bounced first wild card round.
if they go in the playoffs and like kick out the Eagles or something, I will buy a Giants jersey.
Isn't that what they did to the Giants did to the Vikings last year?
They did.
And what then we got Falcons Panthers, and we both are going with the Falcons on that one. I think it's just because the Panthers are terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Falcons. I mean, the Panthers have at least one win on the season. Who'd they win against?
This could be a game. Could be a tie. Could be a tie.
That's very true. I would say, like, who was the team that the Panthers won against?
I think it was the Buccaneers or the Falcons.
Oh, they beat the Texans by like 2 points.
What? I forgot about that.
That was October 29th. So, I don't know, just the way that it looks, I don't even think, yeah, they haven't broken 27 points I mean, 27 was their highest, but they're averaging like in the tens, not much 20. So, yeah, the Falcons, I mean, again, any given Sunday, the Panthers could win this year, but I just think the Falcons are a better overall team. Plus, they have Calais Campbell and Taylor Heineke. So, obviously, that's not enough, but
No, that's fair. I'm going with the Falcons as well. I think they should start Heineke over.
oh, I agree, but.
That's just me
Okay,
personally.
I'm gonna go ahead and rip the band off of this one. I'm not picking the Commanders. I'm picking the Rams because the Rams are going to be one salty after losing to the Ravens last week, and two, the Commanders are just not good. I mean, if they win this, a win's a win. But honestly, I just want them to tank at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'd feel if I was a Commanders fan. I'd want them to do kind of like how Five was feeling when he was talking about that in their videos, where he just wants the Giants to tank. If my team is doing bad, I would want them to do as bad as possible so they can get the best person they can get.
And I've looked at mock drafts and seen that an offensive lineman could be picked number two overall if Caleb Williams isn't. Well, if he is picked number one. We'll see. I feel like the problem with a lot of football teams is the offensive line and the defensive line.
I think the number one problem with most NFL teams nowadays is developing. None of them want to
Yeah.
develop these
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
No, I mean
And
Bryce Young. Look at
that's
him.
depressing because some of the Josh Rosen, I know he didn't do good, but like Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray didn't really get developed much because he's been injured and all that. Lamar got Jordan Love, the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes. Yep.
Yeah,
Alex Smith.
they all got a
At least
little
some
bit.
time in the
Yeah,
backseat. Yeah.
Lamar was what second string to Joe Flacco until Flacco got hurt during the Pittsburgh game. Lamar came in, we still lost because he was just a rookie, or I
Yeah.
was a rookie, yeah. And then he took the reins and never looked back. Alex Smith had Patrick Mahomes behind him, and they developed him. Developing these bad teams just want success now, and
Yeah.
they're letting it get in their way of creating what the Patriots had, creating what the Chiefs have currently. a dynasty where you can win multiple Super Bowls. Everyone's trying to be like the Rams. You just get someone who's already developed, throw them in there. Well, if they keep doing that, there's not going to be any good quarterbacks, and I think that's what we're seeing now. And that's why
Absolutely.
everybody's getting hurt.
Well, and the problem being too, yeah, it's just everyone is asking too much of everyone. It's like you need to be. Well, it's like Tom Brady look, he wasn't the best quarterback in certain games, like in the Super Bowl. Like he won his first two Super Bowls off a kick from was it Danny Amendola? And I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I think the dream team, like the Buccaneers won in 2020, because they were a dream team and the Rams replicated that. But I think the Chiefs won this year because they were just the better team overall. Because I feel like the Eagles probably were a dream team last year. I mean, they got
with the AJ Brown pickup and
AJ Brown.
yeah,
But at the same time, I agree. They need to let people develop because Bryce Young right now is being led as a lamb to slaughter, and it's horrible.
yeah. No, it's absolutely horrible. Sorry, so thought I had NFL news. And I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any NFL news pop up while we were that we could go over.
No, you're
quick.
good. But all right, so then we got 49ers Cardinals. We're both picking the 49ers. I don't think we really need to go much farther into that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty easy. Now
Yeah.
watch the Cardinals upset them. Sorry, guys.
I mean,
My thank you
any
popping
given
off
Sunday.
this.
Yeah. Any given Sunday, though. But I mean, the 49ers have they all but did they lock up a playoff pick right now?
Yes, I think they're the first team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, they did. So I'm gonna see. I don't think anybody else. So I mean, they could. I mean, not tank, but they could just lose out just to rest their starters and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about resting starters like to do a playoff push because I don't know. I think I remember the year that the Ravens were the number one seed. Lamar did not play. It was RG3 played against the Steelers and won the last game. But then Lamar basically had like 2 or 3 weeks off, and then he played like horribly
Rusty, yeah.
against. Yeah.
Nope, that's exactly what happened. Here's my opinion: play them till halftime, or if that defense starts like trying to take cheap shots at them to like actually put them out of the game, then yeah, absolutely take them out. But for the most part, NFL players today respect each other to a certain degree, and they don't really go for cheap shots as much on each other. People still get injured. Injuries are still happening like crazy, but a lot of them have been non-contact. So I'm the same boat as you. I don't really like resting starters, but like maybe rest them to halftime.
Yeah, you just don't want them to get rusty or get overconfident and then get have their pants pulled down.
That's kind of my mindset.
Now, okay, Cowboys Bills. I think the Bills could win this, but the Cowboys I think are just the better team on paper right now. Now, do I think that the Bills? So okay, I would feel confident about the Bills had they not been regressing this year, but I still don't think the Cowboys are going to make it very far in the playoffs.
I don't like Dallas. I don't like Dallas that much at all, and I think they're gonna make a pretty. I think they're gonna make it to the NFC Championship against the 49ers. That's my hot take.
And I mean,
I think the 49ers win it, but
it could happen. And then that would just cement the Cowboys hating the 49ers. And they already do.
Be just like the 90s again.
Right? All right, so this is the Ravens. You tell me what's happening here.
Okay. Jaguars have not been playing good, so look for them to play amazing against the Ravens and just dice up our secondary. No, I want to say that. I actually think the Ravens, they put a show on during primetime football. I think, honestly, and I knock on wood, I think the Ravens are going to dominate them. I really think the Ravens are going to. I think that Rams victory is going to help the Ravens even play better. I think the defense is going to be hungry to be like, hey, we're not letting up that many points every week. Jaguars, you're not the Rams. You don't have that kind of offense. They have to make sure they cover everyone correctly, give respect, because they got a young wide receiver core that can pretty quick and speedy. So I look for them to get out, try to get ahead quick. They're going to try to do exactly what the Rams did. I don't think they have the defense for it. They do have a good defense, but they don't have the defense for it. I don't think they don't have Aaron Donald.
No.
That's kind of my mindset with it. I actually think the Ravens are going to dominate if they play the way they should.
Yeah, no, I think that if the Ravens were to actually play smart football, and they'll win this, no issues.
Yeah, that's kind of my mindset. Now, watch this. The Jaguars are going to beat us like they did in London that one year, and I'm going to cry. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
be
I
on a
mean,
live stream.
we'll see. But at any rate, then we got the Eagles and the Seahawks, which going with the Eagles here.
Battle of
Although
Nerds.
they have been showing some regression recently. Do you think the Seahawks have a chance here?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is going to be a bounce back game for the Eagles, though.
Fair.
Now, if the Eagles lose this, I'm putting
Yeah,
down
there's
there in the same fraud competition as the
the
20.
Jags.
Not the Jags, but like I'd compare them to the Steelers that went 11-0. If you remember
Yeah,
that,
I agree.
because that's that's not a good look if you lose to the Seahawks. Seahawks aren't a bad team, so it's not like the Seahawks
Hmm.
suck, but that's another team that you could be seeing in the playoffs. And if you're losing to another playoff team in the NFC, that's not going to look good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about playoff predictions currently. So I do think the Chiefs are going to be. They're not going to be number one. Honestly, right now I could see it being the Ravens, even though I don't agree with it. So I'm going to put the Ravens number one. I'm going to put the Dolphins two and the Chiefs three. But if the Broncos keep winning games, I could put them there. They could be the three seed.
That'd be
If the
sick.
Chiefs. Now the Jags, I still think are going to win the division, so I'll put them at four. And this is AFC. Texans, depending on, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to replace. I don't know if I want the Colts or the Texans in here because I want to put the Browns in there somewhere.
I'm looking at our picks that we picked for Week 13 when
You
we
know
did the
what? Yeah, I don't
playoffs.
think the Colts are going to. No, I'm going to go with the Browns. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to go one Ravens, two Dolphins, three Chiefs, four Jags, five Texans, six Broncos, and seven Browns. I'm taking out the Colts.
Okay. I think the only thing I'd really change in mine, I think the Ravens or the Dolphins are going to get the first seed, so I'll go Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Jaguars.
Hmm.
And I like my wild card
That's
teams,
the
so
same as mine.
I'll stick with the Broncos, Browns, and the Texans. That's who I have. I only team I would move is probably putting the Broncos at the fifth seed, and the Browns at the sixth seed, and the Texans at the seventh, staying there. I think
Yeah,
mine would stay about the same. I think the order is just going to rotate in my picks.
you know what? Switch the Browns and the Texans for me. I think the Browns would be number five, and then the Broncos six, and then the Texans seven. So
Yeah,
yeah,
basically
that's actually I think.
our picks are
Oh
identical. I just haven't
yeah,
edited mine.
no, you're good. Yeah, and then okay, so going over to the NFC, I'm switching it up because I don't think the Eagles are going to be number one anymore. I think the 49ers are going to be number one,
Yeah.
and then I think the Cowboys will be two if they win the division. And the reason I'm picking them to win the division right now is because of how they beat Philly, the ease of their schedule, as well as just the fact that no NFC East team was repeated as a division champ in like 15 years at this point.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page. I'm going 49ers, Cowboys. I agree with you.
And then we have the Lions because I think they're still winning that division. I'm picking the Bucks over the Falcons. I had the Falcons number four. I think the Bucks right now are going. They're not going to go far, but I think they're going to win it,
No, that'd
like the
be cool.
division.
I'd like to see Baker get in the playoffs again. That'd be pretty cool for him. I'm going to keep the Saints. I'm not going to change mine. I'll keep the Saints in there. That whole division's weird. They might win.
Hmm. Now, okay, and then my wild card team's going Eagles, Packers. I had the Vikings, but honestly, at this point, I think if they could do, I'm going to switch to the Rams and see what happens.
No, that's a good idea. I kind of want to switch to the Rams as well. Only thing that would change in mine is basically I'm swapping the Eagles and the Cowboys. So the Cowboys would be divisional. So the Eagles would be wild card. So they'd be fifth seed. Packers and Seahawks. So basically, I'm just rotating teams around again. I like the teams the
Basically,
most.
yeah. I mean, this could change next week, but at that rate, let us know what y'all think in the comments. You know, I mean, this is live right now, but if you have any comments after the fact when this is up on YouTube, let us know. I mean, we're glad to have you part of the Commanding Cause crew, and we would love to have your input. Yeah, we would love to build the channel up a little bit.
Yeah, and we appreciate any of you guys who have watched these back. I greatly appreciate anyone who came in during the stream itself. No one really said anything. That's perfectly fine. We don't really expect that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys are amazing. hopefully you guys like this setup a little bit better because we can kind of life happens. Editing isn't hard, but it's tedious. This kind of makes it easier on us. So I hope you guys enjoy
And
it.
when I explain what's been going on with me, you'll understand why I don't really have time right now.
Yeah. So
So,
I think once we get everything squared away and we start doing live streams a little bit more, I might be streaming the Monday night game. Not
you could
decided
always
what I'm going to do with that.
you could always call me. I just don't know if I would have the patience to sit here for 3 hours.
And no, that's fair. I was thinking about making a thing where it has us up top because I can't show the game or anything like that. So I was gonna have like video game in the background or something, and then just have the Ravens game pulled up to my left.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, hey, but I'll probably just be sitting on my couch and you can just call me on Discord. So,
but alrighty, guys, we appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys will be able to see this new outro that we have for when we're live. We appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, and share the video with your loved ones, and we'll catch you in the
subscribe. Yep, subscribe and for more quality content.
next one. Peace, guys.
See ya.